It just makes me so angry. It's dangerous, could fall into the wrong hands, the whole city could die, etc. Yeah, I guess I do.
You know why.
So what am I supposed to do? Give up my grudges? Dr. Leland did say I had trouble letting things go. You get it.
He's clearly searching for his place in the world. Right now, he believes it to be at your side. You might set a more responsible example. It's time I went in search of better pastures. Saying goodbye.
Courage for what?
Then again, this won't be the first time I've found my courage in a single molt. I've failed you. I thought it was the kidnapping with Lady Arkham that caused them. Some kind of residual trauma.
You just need rest, Alfred. Why don't you take a long vacation?
I'm leaving, Bruce.
Like we talked about. Someplace in the sun, on the other side of the world from Gotham.
I rather think this vacation will be permanent.
I know things have been hard, but they'll get better. Okay, then.
Really? That's all?
Well, what do you want me to say? If you want to go, Alfred, go. Who am I to stand in your way? You can't leave me, Alfred.
Bruce, please, don't try and stop me. My decision is already made. Very well, then. Your protestations, well, they won't make things any easier.
But why? But why?
Since you seem to care little for my reasons, I'll be on my way.
I thought you said you weren't a coward. Keep us stocked with cucumber sandwiches and tea. Come on, Alfred. You know I can't do what I do, what we do, without your help. So take a back seat from the operations. Put your feet up for a while.
And just stand idly by while your enemies rend you limb from limb? Do a little dusting while you bleed out on the Batcave floor? I don't think so.
How many whiskeys is that, Alfred?
Not nearly enough.
So what, you're just gonna walk away? I'm not blind to the damage I cause, nor am I to the chaos that swirls in Gotham. But I have to believe the good outweighs the bad. I thought you did too. Oh, please, there were plenty of criminals around before Batman showed up.
They stopped the minute I made the decision to go. It's not sustainable. At least not for me.
I put most of them in jail.
My tremors are gone.
Well, that's great news, Al. Do you really think I'm that bad? I've caused you so much pain. You knew what you were getting into. Don't blame me for your hands, Alfred.
No, I'm sorry, Bruce. That's not what I meant at all. No, please don't misunderstand me. But I had it wrong. I was going to write a note, but I'm not a coward. It's why I have to go. A good father wants his children to be happy and safe. Seeing how far you are from either...
You're my father. The best father anyone could have hope for. Alfred, I'm nothing without you.
I may have picked them up, but I did a poor job sticking them back together.
And you were left to pick up the pieces. In a single night, the family was shattered. You did the best you could, Al.
And for that I'm sorry. Not the other way round. A father takes care of his son, Bruce, guides him through the world.
I should have seen the harm it was causing you. My obsession, my relentless effort to stop crime. We failed each other, Alfred.
All of it. The fainting spells. The tremors. Don't misunderstand me.
You're kidding, right?
I know what you're thinking, but please, hear me out. A dreadful thought, I know, but one that keeps me awake at night. I know it's a lot to take in, but hear me out.
This is some kind of joke?
I'm afraid not.
Alfred, I'm so sorry.
At least I don't want to be. Not anymore. We used John Doe, exploited his friendship to get you into the pact.
Gray.
Catch the criminals, lock them up. We took advantage of someone you met in an asylum, for God's sake.
If I recall, you were on board with that plan. Well, it worked, didn't it? But at the time, it seemed like our best course of action. I'll admit that wasn't our finest moment.
For all our good intentions, I fear we only make things worse. Sometimes it's as if Batman creates the evil he means to destroy. If I knew then what I know now, I'd never have let you go through with it. Someone clearly challenged with a proven tendency to violence. Precisely my point. Our best judgment is no longer good enough. If you call citywide devastation a success, turning on him when he killed those agents, that pushed him to become Joker. You led John Doe to believe you were his friend. Now everything has become so grey, as if her enthusiasm might remind us how things were in the beginning.
Talk to me, Alfred.
This war of ours is not what it was when we started. I no longer have the stomach for it. You know this isn't easy for me.
Easier than continuing to fight, apparently.
Well, maybe you don't have to do it at all. Turning against him on the bridge pushed him to become Joker. I foolishly thought bringing her in might make things better. Not anymore. Two-Face, Cobblepot, Lady Arkham, Joker. All they have in common is you. Inspired him to become something far more dangerous than he ever was. Lucius is gone. The lives we touch are touched by pain. She's Waller's creature now, driven to her by our secrets. Friends, colleagues, innocents. It's a miracle any of us survived that ghastly dinner. But Joker certainly made his point. No one is spared.
That's a price I'm willing to pay. In war, there are always casualties. But it doesn't mean you give up the fight. You think I want that? We can fix the problem, Al, but not if we run from it.
She was on Joker's guest list because of her relationship to you. Selina, too. You're right. Another casualty of our mission. This sense of powerlessness I've been feeling, it came from something I saw in you. Anyone who comes into contact with us suffers. One thing is for certain. You don't have to do it, Bruce. Are you sure about this? Let me explain.
Okay, maybe I am more like my father than I want to admit.
Your father was driven by an obsession, by a need to control.
Not like me. I chase that darkness away.
And yet, history is repeating itself, just like you.
Seriously, Alfred. Does telling yourself stories help you sleep at night?
Can't you see?
Alfred, these comparisons... You knew the evil my father was capable of. You think you see that in me? But our paths are different.
I won't be witness to that. I won't bury you, too.
The worse I am, the easier it is to leave.
That's not it at all. I said nothing about evil, Bruce.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying you'll end up in the same place.
Then what? Why compare me to my father?
Because you'll end up in the same place. The paths may diverge, but they end in the same place. Shot in the dark by criminals in some godforsaken corner of Gotham, face down in an alley. I'm more certain of that with every passing day. But nothing is clear anymore, at least not to me. Boehner just dropped a wall on your head. It clouded my judgment. Don't you see? Your paths may diverge, but they end in the same place. You deserved a better life than the one I gave you. I wanted things to be different for you, my boy. I enabled him, like I've been enabling you. Realizing this, I've never felt so helpless. I stood by and did nothing while Thomas destroyed himself, along with everything he loved, at least for a time. Kept him close when you should have put him away. There are some fights you cannot win. You won't have to hear much more from me. In a manner of speaking, you empowered John Doe. We put her in danger on her first day. Tiffany has blood on her hands, dodging machine guns at a crime scene.
What we do is hard, Alfred, but whining about it won't solve anything.
I've served in my share of wars, Bruce. More even than you, unless we are the problem. Leaving this all behind might be the only solution. There are other ways of doing good in the world. Our mission used to be so clear.
What's your point?
She'll bear Joker's scars forever. He rushed headlong into the darkness, thinking himself invincible, oblivious to the cost. Joe Chill's bullet shattered what was left of your family. I was there to pick up the pieces, but I did a poor job sticking them back together. Don't want to miss my flight. The people around us get hurt. Well, there's always traffic around the airport, and there's lasagna in the freezer. Rubbish goes out on Tuesday. I'm sure you'll manage. You could do so much more for this city. Your talents, your resources. But you pour everything into your bloody crusade.
You're right, Al. It's who I am.
And I know you too well to hope you'll ever change. It's not in your nature. There are so many ways to help other than hurling yourself at the nearest villain. I know.
Would you stay? If I promised things would be different.
Is that a promise you can keep?
I will always be Batman. And that will never change. Like you said, there are a lot of ways to help. I'll do whatever it takes to keep our family together, Al. Even this. So please, tell me you'll stay.
Well, maybe just one more night.
I'm sure the city could use a man of my talent and resources. Alfred, wait!
I was going to write a note, but I'm not a coward. At least I don't want to be. Not anymore. A father takes care of his son, Bruce, guides him through the world. I fear your advice about using one's grudges as positive motivators was lost on John. Try not to move until the painkillers settle in. A guy walks into a doctor's office. The guy says, Doc, I've got this thing with my hands. They won't stop shaking, and it's driving me mad. And the doctor says, and the guy says, no, not really. I spill most of it.
I guess Joker's made an impression on everyone.
Oh, no, this was in my repertoire long before Joker. When you were just a little taller than my knee, I'd tell it and you'd laugh and laugh.
I spill most of it.
Yes. Oh, heard that one before, have you?
Pretty sure from you. Please not this one again. You've been telling that joke since I was 8.
And you would laugh and laugh. I thought I was quite hilarious. Haven't seen you laugh like that in a long while. I used to get more than a smile out of you for that one. Perhaps I've lost my touch. I decided my bedside manners could use some adjustment. Admonishing you never seems to get us anywhere.
How did I get here?
Miss Kyle, she managed to get you into the Batmobile. The car arrived here, and Agent Avesta, she managed to get you into the Batmobile. And I tended to you.
Alfred, John is just... He has trouble controlling his impulses. Sometimes he acts without thinking. Okay, maybe more than sometimes.
I know you care for him, Bruce, but he's hurt people. A lot of people. And I'm sorry to say, but it's only gotten worse.
I hate to say it, but...
You should see the news.
After what he's done, he's no friend of mine. Not anymore.
I'm afraid it's only gotten worse. He could have killed you. He nearly did. And he's only gotten worse.
There has been no confirmation whether Amanda Waller, director of the agency, is still alive.
Computer, bring up all live news feeds. Filter for the word Joker.
Reports have confirmed 8 casualties.
You told him being aware of his anger was the first step to overcoming it. But I'm afraid that awareness has only shown him a path to channel that anger. You advised him to try and rein in his urges. It appears to have fallen on deaf ears. And you appear to be waiting for him to succeed in that, after everything he's done. All the way up, Batman. There are people out there who need you on your feet. I know you will, but...
The pursuit led onto the sidewalk where frightened citizens dove for cover.
And where will his reign of terror end? This incident has many wondering, who is the Joker? Where did he come from?
We know that 11 people were seriously injured.
Oh, no. Not you two.
It must be nice to be reminded that you have friends you can count on. And then there are friends who do things like this.
It seems so.
Careful now. It never was quite so relevant before. Almost prescient of me. And I didn't have these shakes then. You'll need these. Take care of yourself, Bruce, for the pain. While you were out, I've kept abreast of the authorities' search for Joker and his associates.
The agency searched the subway lair the Pact had been using. They found nothing and razed what was left to the ground.
As for the GCPD, they've investigated John's other favourite haunt, the stacked deck. Interviews there yielded nothing useful, other than the fact John and a few of his regulars he's recruited to his cause—
Willie Deaver on the left, and that's Frank Dumfrey.
—haven't frequented the establishment in over a week or so. I thought of that. I'm afraid our own drone network has come up empty in a search of the asylum grounds and its catacombs.
John's gone to ground and in none of the usual places that we know about.
It's time to meet your new partner.
Sorry, my what?
That was your cue, dear. Did you not—
I'm not ready!
Is my partner, Tiffany.